Hello again. Today we are going to go through the process of installing a capsule server on our Satellite 612 installation. So there's a number of tasks that we're going to have to do. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is you need a RHEL 8.6 server. I've already gone through the process of installing this in a VM, as the process takes time. It says it needs a minimum of 12 gigabytes of RAM and about 350 so gigabytes of hard drive space. I gave it a little less, just 300 for the pulp. It's not even going to use that, but in a production environment, pulp alone is going to need 300 gigabytes. So keep that in mind. We have our network here, it's bridged, and here is our IP address. So we need to get this set up in DNS. So let's go over to our DNS server and go to local DNS records. And what we're going to do is we name this server Capsule. Put that there, the IP address, and we'll add it in. This is a GHz CPU address, but normally you would have a static, but I'm just using this as a lab type environment, so it doesn't matter. We need to log on to the satellite server. Okay. Now we need to add a firewall command to satellite. This is going to allow the capsule communication to and from satellite. And that's over port 5646. And then we run this. You can also do firewall -command -permanent, and then you can just reload firewall CMD afterwards. Either way works. Now let's hop off. We'll stay on here just in case we need to. So let's just open a new one. Root at capsule home rootuser.com. Okay. Now we want to enable a bunch of firewall ports for capsule to work properly. And we're adding ports 53, both UDP and TDP, 67, 69, 80, 5647, 8140, 8443, and 8000 and 9090. So let's get those going. And then make them persistent. And then we're just going to verify. Next we need to do is register our server. Currently it's registered to Red Hat, so we need to register it to satellite. So let's go into satellite. Now we need to go into hosts and register a host. It's going to be a RHEL 8.6 server. We need to change our activation key. This one's fine. You'd normally use a production one, but I only have those set up right now. And I believe everything is set. And we're going to generate the activation key now. Copy our command. And we're on our capsule. And let's run this. Actually, before we run it, let's unregister it from Red Hat. Now let's run it. All right. Do it in this. Did it not change? Because I didn't hit generate. Here we go. Now copy. Subscription manager, repos, disable. All right, then we're going to enable the following repositories. Which of course does not work. So let's come back over here. No, not, don't. So all the client. It's got to be in the subscriptions in here. Okay, I added the Red Hat satellite entitlement in my subscriptions. So satellite is aware of it. All right. We have them all set up now. So now let's go into content and repositories. We should not do that. There we go. Red Hat satellite. We want 612. Let's add this. And what was the other one? Satellite maintenance. Add that one. All right. Now that those are added, we can go into our sync plans and add them in. Add selected. So that's the sync plan. Let's go to sync status now and begin the sync. select this one too, and synchronize now. Now we want to go to our content views. We need to create one that's specifically for our capsule servers. Call this one CV Capsule. And for this one, we're going to need RHEL 8 base, app stream, and satellite maintenance 612. And the capsule one. Let's add those repositories. We're going to publish a new version. And let's promote it across the entire environment at the same time. Okay, that's done. We want an activation key for future capsule servers we may add. So we're going to create an activation key, call it AK, we'll just go call it capsule. We're going to put that in prod now since we have it. And our CV is here, and we're going to hit save. We want to make sure that extra things that we do not need are not enabled. Override to disable on those. Then we need these Linux 8 AppStream base OS, and then we're going to need the capsule one and the maintenance one. So override to enable. Now we have our activation key. Now we can go back to our hosts. I think you can see it in content hosts. Here it is. Let's make some changes. We're going to point this to our capsule server content view. And we're going to put them in production. As you can see, it was registered with this AK, but we made the changes now, so we should be able to just jump back here now and try enabling these again. All right, as we can see, everything is Y. We're still missing something. Why is the RHEL 8 for x86 AppStream RPMs not enabled? Let's go back to satellite. Content views. Okay, I don't know why it's not added. Add repository. Alright, now that's added, we now need to publish a new version, and we're just going to promote this all the way across again. Next. Finish. Because if you add a repository to your content view, the other content view does not have that in there, so you have to then publish it again. So we'll just wait for this to happen and then rerun the command, and this time it should work. Alright, our content view is now published. Let's try this one more time. And they're all enabled this time. Alright, now we're going to enable the module. This DNF module enable satellite capsule. Now we're going to do yum clean all. Now we're going to do a full update. The update is done. I am pretty sure we got a new kernel, so I'm going to just reboot. Give that a minute. Alright, see if we can connect now. Okay, we're in. So next we go DNF. Install satellite capsule. Now that it's installed, the next thing we need to do is switch over to our satellite server. We're going to prepare for the certifications. So we're going to a directory called capsule cert, and then we're going to generate the certificate. Capsule certs generate. We're going to do capsule certs generate foreman proxy fully qualified domain name. And the capsule's fully qualified domain name is capsule right here. And the certs tar is going to go in root capsule cert capsule certs tar. Now if you have multiple capsules, it'd be wise to just, instead of just naming it capsule certs, give it the, it's the name of your capsule. That way you can tell the difference between them all. And then let's generate it. We want to keep this command, so let's copy this. Now we want to move our capsule cert over to our capsule server. So let's use SCP root capsule cert, capsule tar, and then we're going to call it, and we're going to send it to root capsule and we're going to put this in the root, and we're just going to call it the same name, so capsule certs tar, and yes, put in the password, and it's copied over. Now we switch back over to capsule, and we're going to use that command that we just made. Let's paste it. So we're seeing satellite installer scenario capsule this time. The tar file is right here, root capsule underscore certs. If we moved it for some reason, you would just obviously want to change that path. And this is telling it where the satellite server is, satellite capsule, and the key. So let's run this. The installation is finished, and the capsule is now running. So let's switch over now to our satellite server again. And we should be able to see under infrastructure our capsule server. And it's up and running. So let's make sure everything's correct. Go into administration, organization, capsules. We see it's here. If it's not, you can add and remove capsules into the organizations. Let's look under locations. Let's go hosts, all hosts. Let's take a look at this. Go into edit. You can see your organization, your location, your content view, life cycle. You can make adjustments here if needed. Otherwise, your capsule server is up and running, and now you can register directly to the capsule server. So if you, for instance, at the start when we were registering, now you have a capsule option. You can register directly to the satellite still if you wish. In our environment, we only register the capsule server, so there are no hosts that actually connect to a satellite. So you would just pick your capsule server. You would pick the server you wish to register against. Under your advanced, you pick your activation key. We'll say this one. And then you would generate your command. And this time you see the the command curls the capsule server rather than the satellite server. Other than that, everything is good and ready to go now. And that is the process of installing a satellite server from scratch. Now, if it's RHEL 6.12, you're going to need to, as I said before, start with a RHEL 8 point something server. So just get the latest one, and update it, and get that up and running. If you have 6.11 or before, you can install on RHEL 7 if you wish. Although I would not recommend it because the life cycle of satellites moving fast enough that you should just, if you're installing from scratch, start with 6.12. Anyway, I hope this video has helped you. I'm going to leave in as much as the troubleshooting as I can, so I just don't want it to get too lengthy, but I'm going to leave in the troubleshooting so that you can see what happens if you forget to do something, and knowing how to figure out where you need to go to resolve that problem so that you can get back on track, because it happens to all of us. I mean, you're not going to be installing capsules very often, and you're going to forget certain steps because something that you don't do on a day-to-day basis. Same thing with satellite. You're not going to install satellite a lot. Now, you will administer it frequently, but once you install it, it's up and running, and you're not going to have to do it again for a while. Anyway, thanks again for watching these videos, and until next time, have a great day, everybody. Bye.